Hey, this is Pastor Chris, and I'm on my way home now after preaching at Glory Baptist for Pastor Jeff Deal. I wanted to give you a quick recap of the message this morning. Now, I'm not going to turn to it because I'm driving, but if you have a Bible, go and get it and turn to John chapter 11. Read the whole chapter and then come back. So just go ahead and pause right now. Just go ahead, pause it, and then come back after reading John chapter 11. Okay, you're back. You read John chapter 11. Let me break down 3 sections. The first section of that is when he tells the disciples they're going and Lazarus has died. And the guys aren't impressed. They're saying, well, we were already there. It was kind of tough. It's near Jerusalem. People came out and wanted to kill you. And we left. Why are we going back? Jesus says they're going to wait a couple days. Lazarus is going to die. Why are we going to see a dead man? Why are we going to a place where all our lives are in danger? The story didn't make any sense. At the end, Thomas kind of says, well, I guess we'll go and just die with Jesus. Now, that sounds like they were being good disciples and following, but man, they didn't get it. And they did not want to go with Jesus, and it looked like a disastrous mission with not good consequences. And here's the thing for each of us. Sometimes Jesus asks us to go to places that look like we'll just be in defeat. Like, why are you going back? I had a situation this year to go to the hospital for somebody who had a brain aneurysm, and last year my dad died after having a stroke and bleeding in his brain. And man, I didn't want to go back to Riverside and deal with it. I thought, man, this is bad. But that person was actually Pastor Jeff Deal, who is coming back to preach at his church, Glory Baptist, soon. And man, I didn't want to go visit him. I didn't want to deal with this situation, but I got the call to help a brother, and I stepped in. And even though I didn't like it, man, great things are coming out of this, blessing us, blessing his church, blessing him. And God uses even tough things for glory, and we know that. But man, it's hard sometimes to follow. And I didn't want to go, and this is the first thing from this passage, I didn't want to go back to the crash site. I didn't want to go to Riverside a year after my dad's passing. I didn't want to deal with this situation. But you know what? I'm dealing with it, and God's growing me through it. And so here's the first thing out of that passage of John chapter 11. As you follow Christ, go with him to the crash site. Go with him to the tough things in life. Okay, second part of that passage is where Mary and Martha come out, and they all talk to him. And everybody tells Jesus, if you'd have just been here, it's too late. But you know what? Jesus weeps at the end of that part. Jesus hears all their burdens and all their worries and all their struggles, and Jesus agrees this is tough. But Jesus crying is a show that he has passion to overcome failure. And you know, the thing about that second part of that passage where they all come out to him and then Jesus weeps is this. I'm making a left turn, by the way. Is that Jesus has a passion for victory. Jesus has a passion, and sometimes as Christians we try to bring him all our successes. Look what I did, look how great this worked out, look how good I am. But you know what? Jesus didn't die to bring us success on our victories. Jesus died and rose from the grave to redeem us, to give us success in spite of our failures. And when we give our failures to God, he does great things. Right hand turn. God does great things when we give him our failures. You know, sometimes we want to only give him success and look like the success and tell about success. But where are you failing in your life? What's something that you have royally messed up, that you feel like a failure at, that you can give to God? You know, don't tell anybody this. But sometimes as a preacher, I feel like an incredible failure. But here's the thing. I give that failure to God, and I trust him that if he's calling me to do his work and to be in his word, that he will bring success, that he will bring life, that he will save people from death. Even in spite of me, he will be victorious. And Jesus weeps. And I think part of it is his passion for life and light. Look at John 10:10. It's in the chapter right before this. Before dealing with this loss and death and all these bad things, Jesus said the thief comes in to break in and steal, but I come to give life and life more abundantly. And you know what? Sometimes we get so worried about the thief and our losses and our failures and all those things. But if we give all those things to God, Jesus came to give us abundant life, and we can have that abundant life. And that goes into the third part, is after you return to the crash site, after you give your failures to Jesus, Jesus gives you life, and he gives you light. And he gives you hope. And that's what he did for Lazarus. In that third section of John chapter 11 is when he calls Lazarus from the grave. And Lazarus has been dead 4 days. People would have thought God would have forgotten you. God wouldn't know who you are. But God uses the name Lazarus to call Lazarus. Why? Because Lazarus was friends with Jesus, not just after he died. Lazarus was friends with Jesus before he died. Guys, the time to make a decision for Christ, to follow him, is right now in your life, not after you die. By then, all your decisions are made. You need to be a friend to Jesus to know Jesus now, today. Lazarus didn't just live after he died because he knew Jesus. Lazarus had the ability to live before he died. Wow, think about that. Your best life is now. Joel Osteen's not the only one that gets to say that because it's true. You can't leave first to steal second without taking your foot off it and risking something. And you need to go all in with Jesus today. You need to trust him with all of your life. And you need to know him now fully in his resurrection power before you die. And Paul said that. Paul said that he strove to understand the full resurrection of power of Jesus now. Wow, that's powerful. Lazarus found that power out, that he knew Jesus, and they were friends, so Jesus knew his name to call him from the grave. Does Jesus know your name? And as Jesus knows your name, are you willing to go with Jesus to the tough places? And are you willing to give Jesus all your failures so he can give you life and hope and peace and comfort? Guys, I want to tell you, the Lord wants to shower love and blessing and grace on you. So go with him to tough places. Give him all your failures, and he will give you life. Not just life after death, but life before you die, as you trust in Jesus, our good Savior. Be blessed, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.